Hi, I'm Michael Nadlin from Market Lead, and today's video is about manual versus automated bidding models on Google Ads. Now, a lot of the times you hear about these terms thrown around, which one should I use? This one's really simple today. I'm going to take you through the pros and the cons of each of them and pretty much the benefits of when you should and shouldn't use them. So if you're a marketing manager or you're running the ads yourself or you're a business owner, this will give you a lot of clarity of when and if you need to use them. Now, to make it simple, I will show you my steps of how I go from one to another, or if I actually do use it or not. The thing is, at the end of the day, if you're stuck on either side, 100% on one or 100% on the other, you're always going to lose because it is a very fluid thing. Sometimes you might pick one, sometimes you might pick another. Sometimes one might work really well and then you need to shift across, or sometimes you might need to shift back. So this is just like how you can use a decision-making model or how you can follow what I do to get pretty awesome results. Now, we're just gonna jump into Loom now. I'll show you what I do and just take you through a few slides of how you can go from one to another or even just which one to start off with. So let's jump in there now.
Excellent. Let's jump in. So manual versus automated bidding. So here are a few things that I've just gone over, brainstormed, had a bit of a look around into what I think the benefits and the cons are, or the pros and the cons are to manual versus automated bidding. So you can probably take a screenshot of this and you'll also have my face in it as well. So manual bidding. So this is best for small or new accounts. Now, the reasons why, the pros are you've got control over your bidding and your costs, which is important at the start. Keyword, location, device, and networks like control. Minimize the risk of high individual CPC. So this is a huge one, especially if you're starting off new and you don't know what the type of traffic comes in. You don't want to be spending 3 to 10x average cost per click on something that was just rubbish traffic. The other thing is you can align it with business objectives. So sometimes with automated bidding, you don't have as much control, which may mean that you lose that control over parts where you just allow absolute alignment with your business objectives. And the other thing, which is just like the thing that I stick to the most, is just like quick and fast changes. So a lot of the time when things need to be changed and you need to be very agile and just like make quick changes, like it just needs to be done this way. Now the cons are like it is manual and it requires time and effort. And as time does go on, the other thing is human error and biases. So if you don't have the time and you don't put in the effort, you will start to like lose the competitive advantage. And then the next part, which I just mentioned, is like there is the human error aspect and then also human biases. So that's like the thing that causes the biggest issue in accounts when I'm picking them up, or have run them even myself in the past. It's like the human error and biases are a big factor because the inputs will equal the outputs. The other thing is with this, it's also difficult to scale at times and stay agile and dynamic. So if things are shifting in the market, if you don't have if you're not on that like a hawk all the time, you will start to lose a competitive edge. And that manual aspect, it just won't work in the long run. And then the other one, which is a really big one that I've observed, is you can get caught on focusing on the 1%ers when there could be like an easy 20% win. So a lot of people get caught up in those human biases or errors and they focus on one thing and they're trying to get that 1% win. But because they're so focused on that, they miss out on like a 20% win that would have taken the same amount of time. So these are the cons of manual bidding, or the manual aspect of it, is you just lose like the focus, and the energy can sometimes be used in the wrong area. Now, you know what time it is. I'll keep this short. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep up to date with the latest and greatest Google Ads and paid ad news. And lastly, it's your time to be number one. So Market Lead is now taking on new clients. So if you're serious about increasing sales, increasing customers, and more importantly, scaling your business, book in a strategy session with someone in my team and you'll get a free action plan. Just go to marketlead.com.au, go to the strategy session link, and then book it in there. So remember, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll keep this short. Enjoy. But with automated bidding, this is best for larger or established accounts that I find. So once again, like powerful algorithms, you've got tens of millions of live data points for the best placement for the best time. So Google does have a lot of data beyond just the keyword or anything else that knows the human influence, the human intent, and based on all their own data about individual users, they can use that to place ads at the right place at the right time. The other thing is it utilizes data and computation that will never be like available or achieved by humans. Like Google and Facebook and all these big companies are spending billions on AI and algorithms. So that is just the investment, let alone the technology that builds upon itself. So this is just things that humans will just never be able to beat. In the past, I was extremely pro manual for the whole time, but as time goes on, when the time is required, I do start moving across to automated bidding models. The other thing is with automated bidding, you do set parameters of success. So you do set targets, which when the machine has a lot of data in it and you do have a target, it will start to align it as well, which is really good because sometimes when you are in an account and you're manually doing things, you're optimizing things that are already hitting a target. So you are wasting time on things that might not need to be optimized. Another thing I love is it's fast and effective if it's done properly. So if you've got heaps of data in the account and you implement this properly, things are segmented out great. It will work and it really is fast and effective. I'm surprised sometimes and I'm kind of like, why did I spend so much time on manual when I just knew how fast and effective it was? But it was only when it was done properly. You can rapidly scale accounts, pretty simple, makes sense. And the input external data perform even better. So you can take CRM data, third-party data of your own or first-party data, put it in and use that as data points to optimize towards, which is just makes it even more powerful, which goes back to the powerful algorithm points. Now the cons, as you can see here, there's quite a lot because like with all that power also comes with a lot of downsides. So there is a limited ability to make changes. So if things aren't going well, you don't know if it's a short term or a long term. And if it is like a long term thing, you might be waiting too long before you actually catch the wave of what's actually happening. So, and then once it does, you do have limited ability to make changes. So that is a massive risk. That's why it's usually better for larger or more established accounts. The loss of control and input, and that's once again important when results are poor, which I just mentioned. Garbage in, garbage out. So once again, you may lose control over the quality of inputs and data. So if the algorithm starts going in a certain direction and it's achieving some results there, it might start optimizing towards one or two bad results, which will like spoil the whole algorithm. But that's why if you have a lot of really good inputs from the start, as in you've been running this account for a while, there's a lot of data that you're confident behind, you got really strong first and third party data that you're pushing in, that's when like the garbage in is not really garbage in. The high wastage without having the ability to clean or filter. So that's just another thing. Sometimes there's a lack of transparency on what the search terms are and where the placements are. So if you don't have the ability to clean that waste out, you're not actually having the ability to save money to reallocate back in. High costs that don't align with business economics. So if you're using target CPA and other things, and it's actually quite high cost per click and it's not achieving the results. If you know your sales numbers and then your lead numbers and then your cost per click numbers that all need to align, if those are out of whack, then essentially like it just won't align with your business, which is the most important thing, which is also a pro of the manual bidding. The next one is the wrong tracking equals extreme mistakes. So that is the biggest one that I see on any account I pick up. There's so many accounts that you do use automated bidding that either have no tracking set up on essential outcome-based goals and or they've got conversion tracking set up on things that are not outcomes like page views and just other rubbish. So if this is done wrong, then everything's done wrong. This probably should be number one with like a huge bold, it's all bold, because that is the thing that is the biggest risk for automated bidding. The other thing is you just do need significant amount of conversion data to work effectively. Yes, it can work with a small amount of data, but the more data or the more conversions or outcome-based data points that are available will mean that just like it's rather than things trying to pick out points and trying to find it, everything's in one line and it can just tell that, okay, if we keep going the same direction, we can find more people like this. Also, the algorithms won't understand the importance of certain business objectives that are not conversion based. So a lot of businesses that I work with also have goals that are not just conversion or outcome based goals, which do make it hard for automated bidding models to align with. That's why it's better as a manual, because then you at least have control over it. And the last con of it is like the higher adoptions, which will mean in the long run that the more people that adopt this platform or adopt these automating bidding models will just mean that Google and other platforms have less incentives to have you to have manual control and access. So part of this is if you adopt it and everyone starts adopting it, they'll start to pull away the manual aspects, which so many people still rely on, which do work. Now, I doubt that that's going to happen because there'll still be a lot of brands that have brand guidelines and need to control placements and everything. But at the same time, there will be more incentive to move away from it. So I'll leave that there. I've got a second part to this video, but this has already gone for 8 minutes. So I'm going to end this here. Take a screenshot of this, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you go. I've just once again walked through this with you guys. And I just thought that like, I looked at this and when I did this, I really just like gave me like a fresh look on when and where to implement it, which will be also the next video.